The last few weeks haven't been great. Bitcoin went down and the altcoins went down even further. The question is, how much longer could this potential start of a bear market last? Let's have a look at the Onchain metrics, the data most people are not considering. Now here's a Bitcoin chart that starts on the 20th of January from the peak in Bitcoin's price at 108k to today we went down by roughly 11%. Who moved the price during that time? It was mainly the short-term holders. Have a look at this. This is the realized loss by long-term holders and short-term holders. The long-term holders are in blue, the short-term holders are in red, and the long-term holders really aren't realizing losses that often, only after a prolonged downtrend. So that was a move from 73k to 53k, but the long-term holders really haven't realized any losses since we reached 100k. Here are the realized losses by age bracket, and the people that held Bitcoin only between 1 week to 1 month, they tended to lock in most of the losses, $500 million in total. And so I always like to look at realized prices. I always like to look at the relative cost basis of the market. Where does the average market participant have their reference price? Because when we buy at a certain point, we always want to know where's the current price relative to ours, right? When we are 2, 3, 4, 5x in profit, we might take some of the profit. If we are in losses and we believe in the asset long term, we might just continue holding. Now here's the reference price of short-term holders over time. So that's the line in blue. And then we've got a higher and a lower band, which gives us some kind of a reference at what point the short-term holders might buy in more or might consider selling some. Now, currently, we aren't necessarily very depressed nor very high in the price for the short-term holders. So the market seems to be somewhat in balance. And this is also true when we look at the reference price based on realized price volume. This chart goes from 0 all the way to the highest price bracket in Bitcoin. And a lot of holders have their reference price at around 60k, but also at around 95, 98k. So the way I interpret this is that once we reach the 75 to 85k range, we're probably not going to have too much sell pressure, because all the people that have this reference price over here that will then be in losses are likely not going to sell at those price points. Again, if you believe in Bitcoin long term, you're unlikely going to sell just because you're temporarily in the negatives. Now, this is different for Bitcoin compared to altcoins, right? With altcoins, we never know if the price recovers. With altcoins, there is a rotation.
To get the full length video, feel free to simply subscribe over here. Then you get it recommended by the algorithm.